Okay, we're just here with Uluki at beautiful Sugarloaf Dam. And Uluki, tell us a little bit about this area. And you're just telling me the story about a reptilian base, old reptilian base just over there.
Well, where to begin? Well, all this country you can see all around us is Raven country. And the original tribe here is the Warang, the Raven tribe. And it's a tribe that's written out of history because they don't want the true people talking, or they don't want the true people to be heard. But that doesn't matter. So here, Raven country, all over the place. But not only is it Raven country, it has several names. So it's not just the tribe, Wawarang. Here this place was called Wiendanabu, and Wiendanabu means fire mountains, or mountains of fire.
Mountains of fire.
And that was the geolocation name. And there was another name in spirit for the place, which is called Darangul Beak. And Darangul Beak meant heaven on earth.
Heaven on earth.
That's what it was translated to in the 1800s.
Wow, heaven on earth. Well, it is heaven on earth here, isn't it?
It is. And we are the angels that live here on this heaven. So, our grandfather Murray, who was the signee of the Batman Treaty of 1835 in Melbourne, which was an unusual treaty. It wasn't deemed as a treaty, but it was the document used so that Eddie Mabo can claim land up north. So the Mabo case was actually hinged upon the Batman Treaty signed by my great-grandfather in Melbourne.
Wow. What was his name?
His name was Waverong.
Waverong?
Like wave with R-O-N-G on the end.
What does that mean?
Not sure. But he had several names, and his other name was Powen.
Powen.
Like poem, but with N on the end. Powen Murray.
Powen Murray.
Yeah. And he signed it as a Jagga Jagga, which means lawman in the old languages here.
Yeah.
So he was the head lawman of the whole Kulin, people say Kulin Nations,
Yep.
which they claim to be free tribe, but it's not. It's about 7 tribes that make up this federation. And all of the Kulin tribes end with the word Warang, which is W-U-R-R-U-N-G. So there's a lot of people out there who are doing so-called Aboriginal studies, and it's not even plagiarising information. If they plagiarise information, they'd be copying it and getting it correct, but they're not even plagiarising. They're just killing the truth and then putting out their own.
Okay.
Their own version of history.
And we don't want that. We want the truth.
Well, again, it's their truth. Because the truth is only an individual's idea of what they perceive the facts to represent to them. And because I grew up with philosophers and all kinds of teachers, amongst morons, as we all got to cope with them now, throughout our growing up, our young lives and then adulthood. But so at the age of 13, I was sitting around tables of men in their 50s and 60s talking philosophy.
Wow.
13.
That's amazing.
And they give me the opportunity to talk, and where I said things that may have been stupid or wrong or anything, they didn't chastise me. They said, no, that's wrong, son, and this is why. They didn't say it was wrong and then not give an explanation. They actually done an in-depth explanation as to why that idea I had was wrong and correct me on that. And this is what people are frightened of. They're frightened of correcting each other's information to avoid conflict. But in the end of the day, there's going to be conflict. And the conflict always is within. So the war that humans need to win is inside them first. They've got to beat their own demons, beat their own...
ego.
All of it. Just kick the shit out of all of it.
Yeah.
And then we can be free ourselves to speak properly and freely. And say things that need to be said, and they're not always beautiful. Sometimes you've got to say things that people need to hear, and it's not always the most beautiful words. But then you pick them up with the beautiful words afterwards.
Yeah, and the truth will always set you free.
Yeah. And so old Grandpapa Murray was a very prominent man in history. He done things and was involved with things that why people don't know about him is not a mystery. Because people say, oh, it's a mystery. Why don't people know? I said, because they don't want you to know about him. He was actually the first man to shoot back too. He had a gun and he shot back and had a gun, had a shootout here.
Is this in this area?
Not far from here, down on the other side of Warrandyte and Templestowe area.
Right.
He had a shootout with a potato farmer down there, Mr. Anderson.
This wouldn't happen to be back near the 1930s.
Oh no, this was
Way back.
1840s.
1840s.
Yeah, because we all had guns back then.
Oh, you were?
Oh yeah, we were armed to the teeth and had shitloads of hunting dogs, and because they paid us with guns.
Oh, did they? They paid you
Beads,
with guns?
Tommy-axe, guns, blankets, sugar, flour.
Yeah, but they
And
put
then
didn't they put germs on the blankets?
Oh yeah, that was afterwards. It was all. It took them about 3 decades to realise, because they needed to know what they were up against.
Yeah.
On how vast the people were, how united we were, and all of that. So
Yes.
they done their R&D first.
Yep.
And then when they realised, okay, this is how we can do it.
I was never taught that at school, Uluki. Never taught that.
So what they done was they went after the leaders. Simple as that. The kings and queens here.
Okay.
And again, some people out there may have issues with kings and queens, but Brother Boy didn't before on the phone.
Yep.
You know, he knew about our kings and queens.
Yep.
No, but I'm glad there's other blackfellas out there speaking it too.
Okay, we're just talking about you, Bulmagen, if you're listening. How you going up there?
And so I first learnt of kings and queens up in the desert in '97 when I met the Queen of the Desert, who couldn't speak English. Like,
Is this in the Red Centre?
yeah, they had a place called Amugana,
Amugana.
and they're a very quiet community. Not many people know about them, mate, because they just travel through on the way to other communities, and this community is overlooked, which is good for them because they don't get bothered so much by outsiders. And that's why I met an old lady who was the queen of all the desert tribes.
Wow.
And she couldn't speak English. I had the shaman or the witch doctor was the translator for me there. And I was driving for him as his driver.
Was she pretty old or?
Oh, she would have been in her 90s at least. She was too old to sit up in her swag. She was in the swag inside this old house out on the savannah. And the old witch doctor was in his 50s, who I was driving for. So he had me go and drive, and they're very coercive, these people. They can say things and have you do things, and before you realise you're done all the
You're doing
things
it.
they said. And not realising, that's...
It's a bit like the Jedi mind tricks,
Oh,
isn't
yes,
it?
yeah. And up there they call them red bands, the law people.
Red
Bands.
bands.
Yeah.
They're the law.
They're the law people.
Men and women?
Men and women, yeah.
Okay.
Because there's the only highly initiated people allowed to wear red.
Really?
Yeah. And the other people, the uninitiated are not meant to wear it. And women,
I've heard you talk
before
about
menopause are not to wear it.
I've heard you talking about only women should wear red after they've gone through the change.
Yeah, to change.
Well, it literally is an energetic change.
The menopause, isn't it?
Menopause, yes. And for women who have gone through menopause, what does the red help on an energetic level by wearing more red?
Well, it keeps their sexuality intact and the womanhood intact.
Okay, because
Yeah,
of the
it
base
helps them
chakra.
more womanly again.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah, so and that's...
I better wear more red then.
And that's why all things red are attached to sexuality.
Yeah, they are.
It's
It's the passion colour.
yeah, red lippy, red heels, red dress, red sports car.
So what if a woman that hasn't reached menopause and she wears red? Does that
It can
cause
do an
a
energetic disruption to her flows and her fields.
Yep.
Because colour affects our field.
Yeah, it does.
So
That's why I like wearing purple.
yeah, you're a natural clairvoyant.
Yeah. Yep. The purple woman.
So, like for a long time, how colour affects us is firstly, I ask people, how come the sky is blue? Because it's blue. I said, no. I said, how come the grass is green? And they go, oh, because it's got chlorophyll. I said, well, but why? Why? I'm one of them kids. Why? See, it's because we are art too. And our kinship system was based upon the palette of the spectrum, the rainbow. So in the old days, I'd never marry the red and blue, red people to green people. And green people are people who live in their heart space and exist with the hearts on their sleeves.
Yes.
Red people are libido people.
Yeah. Lower chakras.
Yeah.
Constantly living in those lower chakras.
Yeah, and that's just where they're at. And it
Yep.
doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just how people say higher, lower. No, there is no higher vat to low. There's no wet, dry.
But once you start to move up to the heart,
Yeah,
that's when things really change in your life too.
yeah,
Things can also fall apart.
and it hurts more.
Yeah. Because of that feeling, that level of feeling.
Yeah, emotions hurt more than physical pain.
Oh, they sure do.
So the reason they never put a red person with a green person, because firstly they don't mix too well on the palette. When you mix them together, you get dirt, the colour of dirt and mud.
Brown.
But
Yeah.
it's not a natural human spectrum. Right? So there's 12 semitones, 7 major tones, 5 semitones. There's 12 houses of creation. There's 12 gates at the new heaven. There's 12 apostles. There's
Yes.
12 zodiacs. There's 12 heaven. This number just turns up all over
All the
flipping
time.
train.
Yep.
And like there was a 13th zodiac and there was a 13th Chinese zodiac which they killed recently in the past 30 or 40 years. So year of the cat.
They did. I do remember the year of the cat, and then we had Ophiuchus,
And then people say
which
that
was the snake,
yeah,
which was in between Scorpio and Sagittarius.
it's no longer there.
Yeah, it's no longer there.
So they must have cut out too because there used to be year of the cat.
Yeah, in the Chinese.
In the Chinese
Yes.
one, yes, and the snake would have
do
been
remember the cat year.
Gregorian calendar.
Yeah.
Zodiac. Yeah.
Well, we actually had 13 astrological signs.
Yes.
And
The snake was
Ophiuchus.
the snake might have been the one for the Gregorian because someone said the spider was the 13th one of the Chinese. That day. But it was the cat and the. So there is he's looking for gold and money and shit, is he? So
And we've always been believed to think that 13 is a bad number, like there's a bad omen
it's the
with
most,
it.
It's the most holy number in the universe.
But again, everything's been inverted, hasn't it? Like
Yes.
they don't want us to know too much.
Because we need to correct history, but not look at history or try to correct that much history that it actually takes us away from our futures. The future begins now and didn't begin yesterday. So we've got to look at that as a spiritual conscious connection with each other, that there is no yesterday. It doesn't exist anymore.
So does that mean we should just, when we've got things that we're dealing with in our personal life that hurt us, should we just let it go altogether?
Yeah. What we don't have to let go if it's hurting us right now and on this continuing line. So you've got to cut that hurt, send it away, stop having contact with those who are hurting us. As much as it hurts us to not have contact with them, you're going to hurt anyway. So, but when you break contact with someone, you only hurt for a little while.
Yeah.
But if they're still alive, they're going to continue. There'll be a continual hurt.
Yeah.
And forever broken-hearted. Because each independent human has to really live their own lives. And that's when the people come into their own power, when they truly live, understand who they truly are, come into their own power, and regardless of anyone or anything, they've got to understand who and what they are first. Then they can be their best and help others be their best all around them.
Yeah.
And some people's best are, not as good as other people's best. We accept that. Yeah, there's singers and then there's dancers and there's fighters and then there's those who don't fight,
Yeah.
pacifists.
Yep.
And each and everyone has their place. And it's truly not up for others to say, oh, that person shouldn't be here, or that shouldn't exist anymore. Well, like hate speech too. People talk about hate speech, it should be banned. I say no. I said, oh, if you're going to ban one speech, ban it all. You can't ban one form of speech. People, and they don't see the danger of that. And I tell them, firstly, you should know who's doing hate speech. At least we know who to coerce out of it. If we ban it, we drive it underground and we don't know who's speaking it. So we let it blossom publicly, add water to it. Let them racist roses grow.
Yeah.
Let those bigoted roses grow. Because we know where they are. We know where they are in the garden.
Yeah.
And then we can trim them and do
Yeah, give them
whatever
energy.
you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them the love that they missed as children, most probably.
Yeah, the inner child stuff, even as an adult, if you've had trauma or just grief, it tends to hang around when you're an adult until you actually work on it and let it go.
And let it go, because we can't change the past.
The past has made us who we are today, though.
Yes, we can only learn from it and move forward. And also...
That's a beautiful noise that bird's making.
So, yeah, the past is done with, really. And all of my teachers have always talked about the present, what it means to be present, and not let thoughts take us out of this timeline purely by thinking about tomorrow or yesterday too much. Because the moment we constantly think about yesterday or tomorrow, we're not present. Simple as that. We're not in our body in the moment.
So we can affect the timelines better by just being present.
Yes. And when people comprehend their own presence or understand their own presence more and more, that's when the power of humanity will surge and connect in a way that's... Because everyone's talking about coming together, unification and all this, but the words are segregated.
Yeah.
They say unification, but they don't really know how to achieve it.
Yeah.
So there's still great mysteries out there on the human connection, like how do we do this, how do we do that? And I said, well, just wait for it. The answers will come.
The great thing that I'm seeing at the moment, and you're probably seeing it too, is there's a lot of communities being built up.
Yes. And independent.
Yes. Independent of the system. And these communities are basically helping each other grow food, and they're bartering. And for anybody who would like to know about these communities, it's actually run by My Place. And Uluki is going to be down at the Frankston one this Sunday. My Place, Frankston. Just letting you know that he'll be there this Sunday. So that'll be good. Uluki, you'll meet heaps of people.
Yes, nice.
Yes, like-minded people. And the great thing is you can buy, bags of 10-kilo potatoes for about $5. So, and it's all been, a lot of people are growing their own food and bartering and swapping.
Yeah, it's a bit like the old cooperative system that was big 30 years ago. A lot of people were doing the old cooperative thing.
Yes, and we need to get back to that.
Cooperatives can actually act as their own bank too. And what we're trying to work out, because the banks are going to collapse here.
You can feel it.
They're going to take the people down with them.
Yep.
So,
I feel sorry for anyone that's actually just got a mortgage in the last 3 years because they've paid top dollar.
Well, you know what? So what we're thinking about doing, my next meeting with my advisors, will be talking about creating a bank for the people.
Yep.
So that their assets can be moved over into their bank for people. And once the assets are moved over, that's it.
Yeah, and we're going to see gold backed.
Yeah.
It's going to be more fair. We're not going to have this fiat currency based on interest.
No, or based on lies.
Yeah, lies. Yep.
Yeah.
And death.
False promise.
Yeah.
Because that's why if people look into like our bonds work and things. A lot of it is their promises, and that's what a promissory note is. Was how currency first came about. They could promise to pay a debt.
Yes.
So, but all that's coming. And the rights to produce your own currency
Yeah.
as well. So we're looking at fractal artists to do that.
Mm.
And,
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And people say, how are you going to back it? I said, well, by the gold that was stolen and that we're going to take back
Yeah.
and order back. And
Apparently there's a lot underground in Switzerland, Uluki. Look at all these swallows. They're beautiful. There's heaps of
Yeah.
swallows here.
Well, there's more gold on the world than they've claimed.
Yeah.
Far more gold, like 1,000% more than what they're claiming.
Do you know much about monatomic gold?
Well, there's two versions of it.
Mm.
There's one version made from, people make it from seawater.
Mm-hmm.
They call it ormus.
Mm.
And ormus was another name or label for monatomic gold.
Mm.
But the original process wasn't from seawater, it was made from 24 karat gold.
Wow. Yep.
And in the old world, there was only one kiln in the ancient world that got hot enough to make monatomic gold, and it was in Israel. You got to get the kiln up to over 3,500 degrees Celsius to turn molten gold to crystal, and actually turns to crystal, becomes crystal powder, and there's the monatomic gold.
And it's actually really good for your health too.
Yeah.
Has anti-inflammatory properties.
Yeah.
But it's not easy to get.
And it helps you on a cellular level, like it can reset your cells. Some of the research I've done on it, because it's hard to get correct information, even those out there looking to spruik something over cell stuff as well. I think breathing for a lot of people is overrated. So less people can breathe.
Yeah. Yep. So you were saying before, Uluki, that this dam here at Sugarloaf was an old base for the reptilians.
Well, yeah, it was only taken out about 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah. And I was actually watching the craft or the spaceship that was doing it. So yeah, under the water or over here on a hill, there is another hill over here that's actually is flattened out on top.
Yes.
And we'll show you that. I got informed by another guy who's really esoteric and out there, who was used by the military for certain things, and I'll tell you about that in a minute.
Okay.
But this man was sitting with me one time, and someone else, when time paused, and we all saw it. Everything stopped, except for us. But there's a mountain that's been flattened off here. He told me that there's a dark tower on one of these hills here.
A dark tower.
The dark tower from Stephen King.
Holy cow.
Huge, black, crystalline structure.
Right.
It's cloaked from us.
Yep.
And the hill is flattened out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not natural. Like, it's actually been leveled on top.
So it looks obvious.
Yeah, but you can't see this from anywhere except for one back road on a mountain that this guy drives up and down. And he said he saw it on the hill, and when he moved forward, it disappeared. And when back, it appeared, and when he back, like it was only about a metre space on the road, 15, 20 k away.
Jeez.
That it was where the veil was thin, and
Yep.
like a little gap in the veil.
Mm.
He was able to see the tower just from that one little gap in the veil there. Because the world's not as it seems, and humans are starting to get that now.
Yes, they are.
Everyone's waking up more and more and more.
We're realising we've been lied to on a major scale.
On every scale.
Yep. Yep, about everything.
Even on the musical scale.
Yeah.
Further now. Country music now at 440 should be 432.
Yeah, yep.
But
Interfering with our vibration, our frequency, and making us depressed, anxious.
yep.
Oh, we've got a little boy.
Beautiful visitors.
Um,
So the reptilians. Yeah. So it's hard to say whether they're reptilian or another form of entity because they didn't have their bodies. They just come in their shadow.
in the
forms.
black shadows.
Yeah. And when they approached the camp I was in, me and my family were homeless for many years out here.
Really.
And people talk about people doing it tough. They should have come and stayed with me. And
I know you've done.
They know, like the points there where we had to cart water in by hand every day.
Unbelievable,
And
Uluki.
when you do that, like it's beautiful living. Like it's tough, but it's beautiful. And now, and because of that, I can't live inside the house. I've got to live in a tent.
Yeah.
So I just can't.
But I know you choose to do that
Yeah.
because you don't want to be.
I don't want to be contained.
Yeah.
And this is what squares do. Cubism is a trap. Sigmund Freud and all them people, they all work that shit out.
Yep.
And that's why it's a communist thing too. Keep everyone in the box, in the squares, tick all the squares, do as you're told. And as they say, you own nothing and you'll be happy. I own nothing now and I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I'm not a communist.
Yeah.
I'm not a socialist. I'm not on any list. I think people burn the list that I'm on all the time.
Well, again, every bit of riches that's come out of this country has been stolen.
Yeah, and it's right across the planet.
Yep.
The
North
crime,
America.
The same crime that's happening here is the same crime happening right across the planet to all different peoples. It's the same with people talk about slavery, and this is why they had to import slaves to Australia, because we wouldn't work. We'd rather die.
Because I heard just recently that our convicts, the word convict, we've been conned even with our convicts. They were slaves sent here. They didn't steal anything. They were just
Stolen off the
human
streets.
trafficked.
Yeah, they were. And look, if the truth be known, there's probably more white people have been slave traded than black people in the world.
Yep.
Like some people looking at me might go, man, but man, all you want. Go do some research and look at the facts.
Yep. I'd believe that.
The word slave comes from Slavic. They're white people.
Yes. Yes. Yep. Slavic.
That's where the word comes from.
White.
Yeah. So the first slaves were white people.
Well, if you've not been to Port Arthur down in Tasmania, it has the worst energy.
For several reasons.
Yep.
Yeah. And they just keep jumping on and exacerbating. What happened in the 90s was set up just to make sure that was all negatively magnified.
And that we were disarmed.
Yep.
And that Martin Bryant, I used to go to school right down the road from where I used to live with the rich Tattersalls woman.
Yes.
Who I am sure was one of the elite members of the families down there. She was quite a centric woman, had a house full of cats, but left Martin Bryant a lot of money, which the Tasmanian government took.
That's right. And this is what they do to people who have high endowments who aren't towing their line. They become wards of the state. The state trustee takes over their welfare. Takes over their finances.
And then they're only allowed so much money a week, and they have to apply for it.
If they're allowed to get it.
And then you've got to apply for it first before you can get it. And
Now, anything else you want to talk about?
I was thinking about the Black Pearl.
Black Pearl. Well, I'll finish the story about the shadow people come to the camp. Not far from here, actually. Where are we? Just see where we are. This direction. Over, almost in line that big hill, maybe a little bit where that big tree is there. Straight over into the little gully.
Yep.
Was where we were when the base here was being attacked in early 2019.
19.
And after a while, I was watching the golden orb and blue flashing coming off the ground.
Yeah.
The blue flashing seemed to be a trait of celestial weapons.
Yep, the blue.
Yeah. So as I'm watching that, I got, it's all happening, I thought. So I went and sat in my car, which is a Salt Falcon, the smoking room in the office. As I'm sitting there after dark, and these shadow men come into their camp, about 6 or 7 of them, and they stopped only about 5 or 6 metres away from the car. I turned the interior light on in the vehicle, and one shadow come up to the car, and he absorbed the light from the interior light. And it was tall, and it leaned down, and its head was about here, looking at me. It had no features, just a blank face. And said, we want you to call off the attack on our base. And I grinned. Because people go, didn't you freak out about this? I don't think I said, nah. If it was a human now, I would have been worried. But these things have got no power. Power is only what you give to everyone. No one can have power over you.
Well, they live off our fear, don't they? They love it. They love us to be in fear and anxiety.
Yeah, and they love it. That's their Christmas. Right?
Yeah.
So when the Spring said to me, we want you to call off the attack on our base, I knew what it was heading to, but I wanted to hear this thing say it, just to prove a point that, okay, I can have power over you now. Just because you're a shadow walking into my camp, you're going to put the wind up me, scare me, and force me into protection,
Yeah.
I just lit up my ciggy and said, why? Why should I call off the attack on your base? And he said, because we have a treaty with your bloodline, you know, back thousands of years, and we found you by the vibration of your blood. This is why we're here.
That's amazing.
And you need to call off the attack on our base because of the treaty. And the moment this shadow said that, the spirit of creation showed me the ancient treaty. And I get shown things in an instant. If I need to see something, spirit will just gift it. So what they showed me was this huge treaty that was undertaken 26,000 years ago. And on this treaty was all these clauses. The spirit highlighted 2 clauses for me, just to read up on. And they was free will and consent.
And consent.
Yeah. So these shadow people, when spirit highlighted the free will and consent, they said, you know, that these beings, when they come here, it was okay to deal with us and mix with us and mess with us, but the humans they were messing with had to have full acknowledgement and give full consent.
Okay.
And to know that we're going to muck with your DNA.
Yeah.
We're going to do this or we're going to do that.
They
And
wanna
you're okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and the person had to say yes. At the moment they stopped seeking permission, they were overruling free will.
Yes.
That broke
The treaty.
one clause.
Yeah.
And then it was to do with acknowledgement, acknowledging that they had to get free will, which broke 2 clauses they broke in an ancient treaty, collective treaty. So when Spirit showed me the 2 clauses, I lit up my ciggy and I said to the shadow person, I said, now fuck off. Simple as that. And it's okay to swear, guys.
Just while we're
anybody's
talking,
not a curse.
just while we're talking a little bit about galactic, I don't know if you've noticed in the last 6 months, Uluki, a lot of in-house fighting going on with people in the disclosure movement
Aye.
especially about Enki and Enlil.
Aye, none of them know shit. Can I say that on you?
Yes, I want you to just say what you want.
Oh, they don't know shit.
Okay.
So a lot of them have no idea what they're talking about. They're unauthorised to be talking about these entities. These entities are probably sitting back, tell them to shut up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
They have no idea.
Because it's causing a lot of confusion with the followers, and
Well, what are they following them for?
but I've just been observing in the last 6 months a lot of people being accused of being psyops.
Yeah.
And someone came back on the scene 6 months ago. I think I told you Ishmael Perez, and started calling a lot of people out in the disclosure movement. Dr. Michael Salla, Elena Danan.
Yeah. But look, I look at it as, because the information they're sharing isn't fully wrong. Just that is designed to serve an agenda that's not disclosure. You know? Like, I had an alien come and meet with me in 2007. And that's what our people used to call a wanyana. Some people say wanjana.
Yeah.
But it's wanyana.
Yep.
You know?
And then the Native Americans have another similar.
Yeah. And this alien had no mouth. And it came to my front door of my house in the morning. And when it spoke, it's just no chit-chat. It's just like the spirits of creation. They get straight to the point.
Yep.
And there's no mucking around.
That's right. The Native Americans call them the Kachinas.
And it's not always warm.
Okay. A bit chilly.
Like it's clinical.
Oh, really?
Very clinical.
Okay.
Straight to the point. And
Right.
there's
beating around the bush.
No beating around the bush, and it's not all, oh, we're here to love you and all that. No, that's deception.
Yep.
So if some being come down and said, we're going to love you, get some lube because they're going to screw you up.
Okay.
Don't believe any of it.
Yep.
Because the high-end creation beings, everything's clinical. Bam, bam, bam.
Okay.
Get the job done. Do your damn jobs.
Yep.
This is your
Get
world,
the shit
humans.
done. Yep.
Yeah, this is your world, humans.
Yep.
Fight for it and take it back. From whom? We don't know yet. Because people say, oh, it's this group and that group. Listen, none of you's got any idea.
Yeah. And let's face it, folks, we all agreed in the spirit world that before we came here, that we would get this shit done.
It's in the contract.
So we're not going to waste time. Not this time.
And I know some people struggle with my sense of humour. They go, you need to get serious about that. I think, you don't want me serious. You don't want me angry. You don't want me serious because everything will change energetically.
Yeah.
I said, know what your power. I know what my power is. So when I get serious and I make sure everyone hears it and understands it. But I don't want that. I'd rather have smiles and cheering.
Yeah, because I've got a
And
good vibration.
Let's learn through each other.
Yeah.
Through the light comes humour. Through humour comes the light.
Yes.
Because people take themselves too serious in any group, whether it be my place, whether it be those UFO groups, any of them, they get all like, this is serious. No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't take you serious.
And as you said, seriousness will lead to lower vibration, which will interfere with your
and
ascension.
Hindrance and blinkers go on, and then it's all about me,
Yep.
me. The blinkers are on. And
I'm right,
take
you're
me
wrong.
serious, you know. That's your opinion.
Yep.
That's what they say when you beat them and they go, oh, that's your opinion.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? Someone who said that to me. I hope you're watching, buddy.
Hey, Uluki, we've been nearly going for 40 minutes, so...
Did you want to have a break?
Yeah, was there anything you'd like to say to my friends out there, which you know quite a few of them? What advice would you give them at the moment as to get through what we're getting through?
Keep it real.
Keep it real.
Keep it real. And because there's more at stake than our lives. It's not just our lives at stake. People go, oh, what's more important? What about our reality?
Yeah. What about Earth?
Yeah. Our whole complete reality is at stake. Like conscious, energetic reality has been ground down from the outside by something that I never knew existed, but Spirit showed me about 6-7 weeks ago what it was.
Really?
And it's trying to grind away.
Is that the AI?
It could be.
You have the black goo.
And this is to do with weird cogs and grinding shit that's grinding into our energies.
Right.
Trying to wear us down.
Yeah, okay.
From the outside inwards.
Well, this weather's wearing us down a bit. I mean, when it rains and the floods.
As far as humans go, humanity, this is your world.
Yep.
Fight for it. But don't go, I'm fighting for it already when you're truly not.
Yeah.
If it's inverted and what you think is fighting is supporting them. So everything's upside down, inside out, and not quite understandable by humans just yet. And because Spirit has its way, and through the ascension process that we're all going through, you can't just be given a big whack of information because humans don't cope too well with that kind of shift. So you've got to drip feed humans knowledge.
Because a lot of people at the moment are expecting disclosure on a massive scale. They're expecting emergency broadcast. You probably heard all about this. That we're going to get played 8-hour...
Well, see, the Australian government's already done this disclosure 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Just that no one saw it, looked at it.
Yep.
I did. And it was on the news.
And tell us a little bit about that, Uluki.
Because people say, oh, what are you watching TV for? To know what the enemy's doing. Study thy enemy.
Yeah.
Study media for the fact that you know what to counteract in the consciousness of people. Because everything's online now, and that's the online cyber stuff is mentoring the consciousness of humans. Like it's like a mentor to it now. I tell people that. What was the question?
Yeah.
Where was I going with that?
we were thinking. I'll let you think about it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's.
Well, we're
reality's-
talking about,
reality's
yeah.
not quite what people want it to be or think it is.
Yep.
The world's not what people want it to be, but it is what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Everything is what it needs to be. Order, terror, all of it. It's always. How do we know what peace is about conflict and war?
Yeah.
The word peace would have no meaning ever.
And we
Word
wouldn't
love-
appreciate it as much.
Yeah. Meaning, love would have no meaning if there wasn't such a lack of it in the world. It wouldn't have a meaning. It would be just like anything else that has a mundane label. And it took me decades to understand what love was. And if I am to stand beneath anything, understanding, it is love. And it's love of the universe and the universal love.
But, I still think too, we don't need saviours. We are the ones that we've been waiting for.
You are the chosen one. Get your shit together.
Hear that, folks? Get your shit together.
And whatever that shit is, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, some people's shit might be throwing thongs at their neighbours,
Yeah.
which means something different in America, doesn't it?
But, there has been a massive shift, and the more and more that people are losing, family members through the you-know-what, which I've heard in the last week, just so many deaths here in Victoria in the last 12 months from heart attacks.
Because I know that people are looking to start communities, and it's a great idea. Beautiful. But let's
Yeah.
just take it back. Let's just do it right. Take it all. Instead of looking to build little communities, because it's still going to poison us from the skies.
Yeah.
It's still going to bring their people with guns to take and shut down everything. So let's fix the system. Let's fix the problem, which is, it's not the system. The system is nothing. It's not real. The system
Without-
has no more power than that.
Yeah.
People, the system, you don't know, the system's nothing. It's just a word. The system's made up of evil freaking people. They've got to deal with them evil people within that system and purge the system of corruption.
Yeah. Which we're seeing now.
And then every town will be a community again.
Yeah.
Every town will be a village to raise their children.
Everyone will talk to
and
each other.
protected. Yeah.
Yep.
And,
There's that old saying, you need a village to raise a child.
yep,
And I firmly believe in that.
yeah.
You can't do it on your own. You need...
You need a country to raise a king, people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like chuck that one in. But, no, more like I went, I told him not to call me on this number. But never lose your sense of humour. Because all of my teachers were funny people. And they knew the importance of keeping the humour alive.
Yep.
Because without it, you become dark.
Yeah.
And you're of no use to anyone.
Yeah.
You become the problem.
Well, nobody likes negative Nancy or,
Nah, that's right. And they actually become the problem.
yeah. And
Darkness is the
and if
problem.
you're negative, people will just keep away from you.
Yep. Yeah, and people wonder why they're alone and have no friends or family looking after them. Yeah. Because they want everyone else to change without them changing.
Yeah. And point the finger at everyone else except look at themselves.
Yeah.
Take responsibility.
Change is lovely. Like, we've got core foundations in our spirit. There's ethical cores that humans need to hold on to and keep. But the rest of it is just dead wood on a tree they cut away. And that's the trauma,
Yeah.
resentment, and so-and-so said this. So if they said it yesterday, who cares?
I mean, most of us have had childhood trauma, but as adults, it's our responsibility to heal
Yeah.
and not remain the victim for the rest of our lives.
And forgive those who transgressed against us, because, apparently a famous man once said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
Yeah.
And it's the truth, because a lot of people don't know what they're doing. If they do, then they just kill them. It's okay to kill. People say, no one has a right to kill. I said, yes, we fucking do.
So what
Murder's different.
Uluki, what can you see in the collective coming into 2023?
More confusion than ever, because we're yet to see the darkness.
Yep.
We're yet to see our darkest hour on earth. People say, no, it's all done with. transgressing, we're doing this. And I said, well, we'll be here when the darkness hits you. You know, we'll walk together.
And I think that's what most of us are feeling. Something big's coming.
Yeah. They haven't brought out the big guns against us yet.
Yeah.
Because people say, oh, you know, they've blocked them, they can't get their monies, or the elites are blocked and they've lost everything. I said, wait till the beast gets desperate. We haven't seen them desperate yet. They tried to, you know, they're trying to cause World War III.
Yeah.
They're not going to succeed.
With those couple of missiles
Yeah.
from Poland. Yeah.
From the wrong direction.
Yeah, from Ukraine.
A lot of people don't realise how Poland is in debt to Russia.
Yes.
For hundreds of years they've looked after them.
Yep.
You know?
Yep, they sure have.
And, but you know, the world is going through
A chrysalis.
yeah, and we're about to blossom. But you know, we still have to have our darkest hour. Yeah. Because we're so close to midnight on the doomsday clock.
Feels that.
You know. So many seconds away from it.
Yep.
Or so many minutes. But there won't be a doomsday. You know?
Well, I do tend to believe, you know, that the Galactics fixed the nuclear.
Yeah.
They disarmed these nukes quite a while back.
Yeah. But
Because it affects them too.
It actually wasn't just a celestial thing. Some humans were involved and said, listen, this is what we need. Because no one's allowed to intervene here without permission. They had to get human permission to do that.
Right.
So this is why people go, oh, you know, why should they get human permission? Humans who made the nuclear bomb. I said, did you make it?
Yeah.
You know? What did you do? Did you contribute to the nuclear bomb?
Yeah.
You know?
Did you dig Did you dig up the uranium?
Yeah. Dig up the yellow cake.
Yep.
You know? And they go, no. I said, well, neither did everyone else. Only a handful of people done that. You can't judge all these other people because they were a couple. So, you know, the blame game's a good one. People can blame me all they want. I call it taking credit. It was him, he done it. Yeah, thanks. It's good to see you taking notice. You know? Really nothing else matters but love and loyalty now. And to each other, and not to movements. Don't fall for movements. It's only us, the people. Yep. Movement is another systemic control.
Yes.
All of it.
Yep.
Whether it be local systems or high systems.
High systems.
They're all mechanisms of control. So,
and I think we can already guess with the Victorian election that's coming up that there's going to be major cheating going on there. And
you mean politicians cheat
Yeah.
and lie? God dang, I learn something every day.
And did you see what's happening in Brazil at the moment, Uluki?
Oh, more election lies.
Yep. And the people have taken to the streets and demanding the military to get rid of the government.
But the people are the mandate. They have the right to. So in the military must do it. Must do what they're asked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you know, thank you so much again, Uluki, for today's talk. And I think it's going to give my friends a lot of things to think about. Yep.
Yeah. Just as a PS, I said, the Spirit showed me and told me you have to tell humans this is their reality, not world reality, because it's not us at risk. It's a complete vibrational reality is at risk.
Yeah.
Like it's been detuned all around us, and we have to tune ourselves
Tune it,
up,
yeah.
like tuning forks, and so we can retune with our mother.
So you think spending more time out in nature is going to really help us?
And with like-minded people too.
Yeah.
And start to raise up the vibration and bring in new people into those circles.
Yeah.
Don't exclude anyone, even those you might want to argue with.
Yeah.
Bring them in and find some way of raising vibrations together.
Yeah.
Because
the more the merrier.
Yeah. Because it's the common folk out there. They matter too. People go, oh, the public this, and they segregate and withdraw themselves.
Yeah.
From those who are not seemingly awake.
Yep.
But they're only not awake in the eyes of the seer. I know a lot of people out there are awake, but they don't have peers they can trust to talk to.
Yes.
That a lot of mainstream people are awake. They don't know. They're fearing on who
they
should I
can-
talk to about this.
Yep.
What I'm feeling, what I'm seeing. My family are stupid, so I can't talk to them.
Mm.
You know?
Well, there's a lot coming out about Alan Jones at the moment, the pedo.
Yeah.
And what's his name? John Singleton, John Laws.
And John Singleton, yeah. They're all the same. They're all the same.
All creeps. But anyway.
And
But I've noticed too, Uluki, that a lot of the Masonic lodges are either up for sale or they're being unkept.
yep.
Um,
Well, there's a special lodge that I might go and look at. Squatting thing.
oh, really?
It's a secret location in a Melbourne suburb that's meant to have a natural fountain inside it.
Oh, wow. A
The
natural
only
fountain.
place one's ever been found. It's not a geyser like a thermal geyser in the
Yes,
States.
yes.
It's one fountain, this stream of water shooting up out of the ground, and when it falls, it soaks straight back into the earth. So apparently they built a temple on it, on top of it, and to hide it. So inside this temple somewhere is this beautiful natural water fountain.
Spring water,
Spring water shooting
Straight
up out
from
of
the
the ground
ground.
and sinking straight back into the earth where it falls.
which is the best water for us to drink.
Ah, imagine how sacred that site was.
Yes. And the song lines.
See, the song lines is another thing. Like, even a lot of the black people don't know what they are. The guy did dancing lines and dreaming lines. I said, but what do they mean to us? Oh, that's the law. And I said, no, we are the law,
Yeah.
not the song line. We are the song lines.
Because you're still creating the song lines.
But
You're
the song
still,
line is nothing without us.
yeah, yeah. Singing them and dancing
The
and
reality is nothing without us
ceremony.
perceiving it.
Yeah.
So it's the same with every idea. So unless we perceive it to be so, it's not real. You know? So is the world really there behind me, or is it only there because you can see it?
Yeah.
So quantum mechanics is getting more and more complicated.
Because I've become we're the observers.
That's right. Yeah.
And we can observe something into our reality.
Yeah. Now we can become the interactors and the authors of that reality. Once people understand their power, they can author stuff.
Yeah.
It's just been getting. It starts to happen all around. So that's why I'm learning that it's not manifestation; it's creation. It's manifesting, stealing.
Yes, it is. It's a new age term.
Yeah, it's theft. It's theft of something that doesn't belong to us. And
Because we're all creators.
yeah, we are all children of the ultimate creator, and we all have that power within us.
And as you said before, we're dreaming a new dreaming.
We're recreating creation and dreaming the new creation. But that's why everyone has to watch their inner thoughts, each word, and make sure they get their words right.
And manage their energy
Yeah,
better.
and to judge without resentment. People say we shouldn't judge. I said that's what evil people say.
Yeah.
So we don't judge them. That's what pedos say. So we don't judge them. That's what criminals say.
Yeah.
You shouldn't judge. That's why don't throw. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Yes.
I live in a tent.
But we can't help but judge. I mean,
It's human nature.
I think it's also a,
That's what they don't want us doing. They don't want us judging.
yeah.
But it's outright.
I think it's a survival thing too, because
It
if
is.
you're not judging, how do you know that thing's not good
sorry,
for
they
you?
say discern.
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 Yes. Discern. Discernment.
Discern. What's happening at CERN? Discern. You know?
Yeah.
We say no, we're judging. That's it.
Well, people were saying CERN recently opened another portal.
Yeah, they keep screwing around with stuff. And it's all so much bullshit online, it's hard to say.
How have you been sleeping lately, Uluki? Have you been?
No, I've been resting good. Like I slept
Yep.
that hard last night. There was a big dent in me bed.
Yep.
I must have slept heavy, literally.
Yeah. Because a lot of people are finding it hard to sleep
Well, I get woken up at
and
5:30.
feel like they're getting attacked, and they're getting physical symptoms.
Yep, it's happening all over the world. People are being attacked internally, like their organs have been attacked. Like a few weeks ago, I was attacked by a form of magic that only blackfellas here in Australia know. So somewhere out there, because there's these blackfellas working against me.
Right.
But that's okay.
Yep. You know how to deal with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I just absorb it all.
Yep.
People say you should pick up reflection. You don't have to receive it. Oh, no, I don't. It tastes a bit though. There's nothing they can do.
Are you going to be at the St Andrew's market tomorrow,
Yes.
Uluki?
Yeah, that's where I get my social fix with humans.
Yeah.
Up there.
So if you ever want to catch up with Uluki, go to St Andrew's market on a Saturday and go and say hello.
And anyone can approach and speak and say hello, and they don't be weirded out by it. I'll talk to anyone.
Yeah, he does.
Literally.
He's very friendly. And a lot of people know him.
And because it truly is the most important times humans will ever live through is the next 10 years, ever, on all world history.
Up to 2030. Because they've got that agenda,
It
2030.
used to be Agenda 21.
Yeah.
But there was a few blockages put in their way, and they had to sort of
Too many people waking up too.
put the flight back a bit later.
Yeah, they got slowed down a bit, didn't they?
Yes.
Because they thought that it would be all over by 2021.
Yeah, well, they ain't good luck with that. You know, while most humans are out there playing checkers, we're playing chess with them.
Yeah.
That's, like the brother boy I was talking to on the phone early on, who I was happy to hear him say kings and queens. I got called into the basement of the Supreme Court system once, here in, going back to 2014, and these two very tall white men sitting there. Their overcoats they had on were longer than me.
Wow.
Just their overcoats.
Yep.
And they were like giants, come out of this big dark room, and I had two witnesses there. My father was with me, and
What was your father's name?
his name was Edward.
Edward.
Yeah, Edward William. I was meant to be a William, but my mother wouldn't have it.
What was his tribal name? His spirit name?
His name was Gira.
Gira.
Gira. It was Goanna.
Goanna.
I think that side had a bit of reptilian in that. I think the hairier someone is, the less reptilian. So people who are hairless, like the Dutton, with the Dutton, no hair.
Yeah, he's bald as a badger.
Dutton, yeah. He's powder.
Dutton mutton.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Uluki. It's coming up to an hour, and thank you so much. And thanks everybody for tuning in today.
And love is a superpower.
Hear that, folks? Ciao for now.